Mm. Peace, love, and light. I'm Damri Alma At-Bay. This is Eden Rose, and Eden Rose is a way of life. I'm here today to do a very quick daily divine reading. I promised that I would start doing the daily divines live every single Wednesday and sometimes every Friday. So this reading is going to be really short. I only have about 10 minutes. So we're going to see what the divine has to offer, and yeah, we go from there. This morning I had a reading done by someone who read candle wax, and it was the coolest thing. And so I think I might try it. I think I might see whether or not that's something that is possible for me. I read just about everything. I read cards, I read sticks. I don't read traditional tarot. I do use traditional tarot to assist me in interpreting my readings or the information that the divine offers, but I don't always read traditionally. In fact, I more often don't read traditionally. I read sticks, I read coffee, I can read palms, I can read just about anything, really. So I think I might try that. So yeah, if that's something that you might be interested in, then you can look out next week Wednesday, and potentially Friday for a live candle reading. But to start off here, since we don't have a lot of time, I will these messages allow you to expand. I will these messages are received with clarity and in love. I will that you're able to use whatever messages you receive here today to align yourself with love and with divine energies, and allow yourself to expand and learn and be more. Okay, this is it. 2 cards. Okay, so there are 2 opposing energies within you. One is one which is the one that you're sort of encompassing right now. What I'm getting a sense of is that you flip-flop back and forth between these 2 energies. The one that you might be in right now, or that you were just previously in, is one that is very spiritually, how do I say this? Because they're very similar energies, but one is more, not powerful, one is more all-encompassing than the other. So there's this aspect of you that's very mental, that is, I imagine it's the part of you that you put forth into the world. It's the part of you that you step forward with in your everyday life. This person, this personification, this presence that you have is very much something that is subtle, that most people don't quite understand. It's something that's very alluring. It's something that's very mysterious. It's something that's very... Okay, so what I want to say here is that you're capable of manifesting things. So that's why, I feel as though it's the aspect of you that steps out into the world. Because what I'm really, really reading from this card is that, and it's the Princess of Swords. Okay, what I'm really getting from this card is that mentally, emotionally, but more mentally, meaning like your mental space, your physical mind, but your actual mind, your thinking abilities have a great handle over your emotional self. So whatever you're experiencing emotionally in your life, you're able to subdue, counteract, support, whatever you need to, those emotions by this presence that you have, by this way of being. And it's almost very calming. It brings things down to a balance, or it brings things up to a balance. And And it's a very, very powerful presence, because it's capable of manifesting anything, like literally. It's profound and it's very subtle, which is very strange what I'm getting from this card today. But there's this aspect of you that's perfectly aligned with the physical realm, and also your mental capacity to be able to dictate and form the physical realm. You are a master manifester. And I'm saying that because, yes, I do have a program called Master Manifester. And so that's the word that's normally in my mind. And I don't mean to plug my own stuff. Not that I shouldn't, but you are a master at this. And it's almost like you know you're a master. And so you keep that energy subtle. You keep it balanced. You know how to regulate your emotions here, which is the tool and the fuel that the lower self uses in order to, get what it wants. It uses emotions that are uncontrolled or uncontrollable, seemingly, to manipulate and manifest what the lower self wants. This is in general, not your lower self. I'm talking about in general, the energy of the lower self, the energy of the opposite thereof, the all, the separation, right? The devil, if you will. You have the ability to subdue this energy in a way that is just so freaking powerful. And then there's this other aspect of you, and that's being represented by the High Priestess. There's this other aspect of you that is completely in your power, that is always seated on the throne, that is always presenting a degree of regality and discipline and structure, but it's spiritual structure, which means, I suppose that this first aspect of you, this one, is possible because of this one. That's kind of what I'm feeling like. Like, this is such a strong energy within you. Your general essence of self, your spirituality is growing and has grown to be such a great presence that it is now having immense effect on your physical expression. So you aren't necessarily living a double life anymore. You aren't necessarily allowing your emotional and spiritual experience, your internal experience, to be separate from how you express in the world and what you offer in the world. It's coming together like a very strong bond and marriage between the two energies. Because now, but since this High Priestess energy is within you, and the High Priestess, it's all feminine energy, so recognize that this is straight from the creative aspect of you. Recognize that this is the feminine energy within you, the part of you that is able to intuit and receive, and then whatever you do internally with that information that you receive, and then regurgitate it out, not in a straight line, but in whatever form it needs to, which is why you're that master manifester, meaning you're manifesting now with the feminine energy and not necessarily with the masculine energy. The masculine energy and manifestation, it kind of feels, or bees-like, when I say bees-like, it manifests sort of like this, and it's like what we need to do in order to take, what actions we need to take, in order to achieve what we're willing to achieve. The way that it happens with the feminine energy is more along the lines of, what have I interpreted based on what I've seen and known, and how can I be, how do I feel, and how does that affect the world around me? So it's like manifesting through intuition and through will versus manifesting through action. And you are capable at this point of manifesting through both, because not only is your spiritual essence stronger and stronger within you, you are so balanced there now, that it's beginning to manifest in your physical life in new and impressive ways. And you're going to be further impressed with yourself as you continue to let this aspect of you flourish, because I feel as though this Princess of Swords is moving toward being the High Priestess, right? the physical incarnation of the high priestess. Right now, this high priestess energy, this is the energy within you, and you're taking action, and the way you be, the way it manifests within your physical vessel is representative of this Princess of Swords, someone who is a master of the mental space, someone who is, I mean, it's a sword, and if you can see, she clearly knows what she's doing. She's in the midst of some sort of movement, right? She's in practice. She's creating, and she doesn't even need to use her sword or wield her sword, because she knows that the sword is really just a mental or a spiritual experience. It's not really a sword. It's an extension of her spirituality, of her energy. And so before she even picks up the sword to, move with and to manifest with, she recognizes that she's moving with her own self. She's going to use her own intuition and her own action, her internal space before she uses her external tools. And somebody who is preparing the space spiritually, energetically, preparing your life, preparing yourself, preparing the spaces you enter, preparing the people that you're going to interact with by intuitively making those preparations. And I can't go into a lot of detail when I speak about things like that, but what I mean is kind of like Abraham Hicks calls it segment intending, which is like creating the space that you want before you even get there, with visualization, with meditation, with your intention, with your divine will. So she's not only preparing the space for herself spiritually, she's getting there, and then she's also taking action. So it's happening in, like I said, there's a marriage between these two spaces, the internal space and the physical space. The way she manifests physically is now encompassing, and it's not just she, this is a she and a he, but I'm just speaking to the card and the fact that there's a woman on this card. But the way that she's manifesting physically is from a spiritual space. And this isn't really a message. This is just a you needed to take a look at you kind of moment and recognize that your power is so much greater than even you have seen, what you're capable of, what you are spiritually here to do, your work, the original reason as to why you chose to manifest here in the physical. That is becoming more you, and it's more prevalent in your physical life, and people are seeing it. They can't help themselves but see it because of how you're moving, because of how you're preparing these spaces intuitively before you even enter them. And so if this is you, I want to say congratulations. And if this is somebody who doesn't feel like this is you, then I want you to know that this is actually you, and you're moving toward this space, and it's time to really recognize that and embody these aspects of you, because they are in truth, and they are that flame, that fire that keeps you going every day. You might have been looking for it and not really knowing, what it is, that what's that spark that keeps me going every day. This is it. Your why, your reason for manifesting here, the work that you do spiritually is now becoming a part of your physical experience. And it should be embraced, because it's not something that's easy to do. It's not something that most people opt for because of how difficult it is. And the fact that you're choosing that path, or that you've chosen that path as a soul, as a being, as a creative entity, is commendable. I can't even think of a word that's big enough to express my congratulations and my appreciation of that path. I'm somebody who chooses that path as well, and it is very hard to straddle both realms and be my strange self in a realm where my strangeness is misunderstood. And so congratulations, and what you're doing, what you're meant to do here is a very beautiful thing. And so trust yourself and trust your intuition, because you are most certainly moving toward a space of divine will being able to move directly through you as a vessel. And wow, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So with that, I will leave it there. What a beautiful message. I will that these messages are able to be received in clarity and with love. I love you all very much. I thank you very much for co-creating with me. Thank you for all your energy. When you do receive these readings, I feel you now. And so I just wanted to let you know that I so appreciate you. I have so much gratitude for the energies that I get to rendezvous with when I do these readings. And so thank you very much. Peace, love, and light.